The second cup was still warm when I touched it. I stood in our dim Chicago kitchen at 4:18 a.m., coat half on, keys in hand, staring at two coffee cups in the sink, mine, chipped on the rim, and a clean white one we never used. The streetlight outside flickered through the blinds, striping the counter like a crime scene. I hadn't made coffee yet. I never did before dawn. So who did? The refrigerator hummed. My phone buzzed with a rideshare alert. And for the first time in 12 years of marriage, I didn't leave the house. I just stood there, fingers resting on that warm ceramic, waiting for an answer that refused to come. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. At first, I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she couldn't sleep. Maybe she started drinking coffee early now. People change. But the next morning, same thing. 2 cups. One still damp. One always placed just slightly off-center, like someone unfamiliar with our kitchen. I started noticing other things. The faint smell of a cologne I didn't own. The trash taken out before I got home. Her sudden interest in keeping the place perfect. That's new, I said one night, nodding at the polished counter. She smiled without looking up. I've just had more time lately. More time. Something wasn't right. I began leaving earlier than usual, circling the block, parking down the street on North Halstead. From there, I watched our building's entrance in the dark, engine off, breath fogging the windshield. Nothing. For 3 mornings, nothing. Then on the 4th, at 4:42 a.m., the front door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Relaxed. Like he belonged there. He checked his phone, adjusted his jacket, and walked off without looking back. That's when it hit me. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed more than a silhouette in the dark. I needed proof. So I set a trap. I bought a small camera. Nothing fancy. Motion activated. I hid it behind a stack of cookbooks facing the sink. The angle was perfect, captured the counter, the coffee maker, the back door. The next morning, I didn't go to work. I sat in my car and watched the footage on my phone. At 4:11 a.m., she walked in wearing one of my shirts. At 4:14, he followed. They didn't kiss. Didn't touch. That almost made it worse. They moved like a routine. Comfortable. Familiar. She poured coffee into 2 cups. He leaned against the counter like he'd done it 100 times. Same as always? She asked. Yeah, he said. Casual. Easy. Like I didn't exist. I watched them talk, laugh quietly, sip coffee in my kitchen. Then at 4:39, he rinsed his cup, set it in the sink, the same spot I found it every morning, and left through the back door. I replayed it 3 times. Then I went inside. She was still in bed when I walked in, pretending to sleep. Morning, I said. She stirred. You're back early. Yeah, I replied, staring at her. Couldn't sleep. She smiled faintly. You should try herbal tea. Denial came easy to her. I almost admired it. Over the next week, I let it continue. I collected footage. Different days. Same routine. Same man. I ran his face through a contact search. Ethan Cole. My neighbor. 2 floors up. We'd shared beers once. Nice guy. I remembered saying. She must have heard that. Her manipulation escalated when I started asking questions. Do you wake up early now? I asked casually one night. Sometimes, she shrugged. Why? No reason. Just notice the coffee. She laughed softly. You're imagining things. Imagining. Right. The emotional collapse didn't come all at once. It crept in. Quiet. Suffocating. Every morning I watched them, I felt myself slipping. 12 years reduced to 2 coffee cups and a stranger in my home. But I didn't explode. I adapted. Silent transformation. I contacted a divorce lawyer downtown. Filed quietly. Presented the footage. He nodded, impressed. This is clean, he said. Very clean. I moved money. Secured accounts. Changed passwords. Documented everything. Then I planned the ending. Ethan had a job. Corporate. Public-facing. Reputation mattered. So I waited for the right moment. One Friday morning, I didn't just watch. I walked in. At 4:16 a.m., they were standing at the counter, cups in hand, mid-conversation. The door clicked behind me. They froze. The silence was instant. Heavy. Don't stop, I said calmly. I want to hear how this ends. She turned pale. What are you doing home? Ethan stepped back, trying to piece together an exit. I placed my phone on the counter and hit play. The footage rolled. Day after day. Same routine. Same betrayal. Neither of them spoke. When it ended, I looked at him. You've been drinking my coffee for weeks, I said. Hope it was worth it. He swallowed hard. Man, don't. I cut him off. Then I turned to her. You couldn't even change the cup placement. She said nothing. No tears. No apology. Just silence. I slid an envelope across the counter. Divorce papers. For you? I said. Then I pulled out a second envelope. For your company, I added, looking at Ethan. HR tends to care about employees who sneak into married neighbors' homes before dawn. His face drained. That's not necessary, he said quickly. It already is, I replied. Public exposure wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. A few emails. A few attachments. The right recipients. By noon, his access badge was deactivated. By evening, she was calling me nonstop. I didn't answer. The aftermath was quiet. I moved out the next week. Took only what was mine. Left the rest. The apartment felt different when I returned one last time. Empty. Cold. The sink was spotless. No cups. No smell. No trace of them ever being there. I stood in the same spot where it started, staring at the counter, remembering how something so small unraveled everything. 2 coffee cups. That was all it took. I turned off the light and walked out without looking back. The end.